To get started creating our out-of-browser experience within Silverlight, the first thing we need to do is we need to go over to our Solution Explorer. We need to go into the project that has our actual Silverlight application in it and go ahead and view the properties of it. When I view the properties of my Silverlight project and I go to my Silverlight tab, you'll see down here there's this checkbox, Enabled Running Application Out-of-Browser. If I check this, I now am able to see the out-of-browser settings dialog. If I go ahead and click that, this will bring up a new dialog. This dialog allows me to provide some data in it, such as what I want to provide as my Windows title. We're going to go ahead and just modify this to show that we can. I'll just call it dimecast.net, dimecast.net OOB. The same thing with my shortcut name. In here I can also provide a default description. I can provide an icon for the application at various sizes. And then I can come down here and I can choose a couple different options. The first is that we want to look at is the Show Install menu. And we're going to pay attention to this first. The Show Install menu allows me to run my application and not have to provide any code myself to provide the user the ability to install this application to their local machine. By having this, I can have them simply right-click on the application in the browser, and the menu will pop up that says Install Silverlight. The other option is to use GPU acceleration. I'm going to go ahead and check that on. Although our application is not going to be GPU intensive, if yours is, checking this will increase performance. So let's go ahead and click OK now. The first thing we want to do is let's go ahead and run our application. So when we run our application, we get our default look and feel. This is just a navigation application that's based off the Silverlight template. And you'll see that I can right click and I can choose Install dimecast.net OOB onto this computer. That is visible because when we went into our settings a second ago, I chose this option, remember. So if I uncheck this and run it again, we want to demonstrate that it will actually not be an option. So we reload our app. Now if I right click, Silverlight is not, or install is not an option for us. So you can see that checking that checkbox does actually work. It does actually allow the user to have the ability to install the application. Let's go ahead and recheck it and run the app one more time to actually show that installing it onto our desktop is pretty easy. So all we want to do is right click, click install. As soon as you do that, you'll get this new dialog box that comes up. This is by default with Silverlight. And what this is going to ask you to do is, do you want to install it as a shortcut menu or onto your desktop? We're going to go ahead and install it onto our desktop and click OK. As soon as I do that, the application will come and start running as the out-of-browser experience version of our application. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the shortcut that was created. So if I minimize my applications, you'll see right here I have a shortcut called dimecast.net OOB. And in fact, if I kill my application and double click on it, it will open up my application and it runs just fine. So that's the one way to do it. That's a very easy way to do it. But what if we want to do it programmatically? Well, you have to do that. It's a little bit special. But before we can do it programmatically, we do need to uninstall the application. To uninstall our application, all we need to do is open up the Add Remove Programs dialog, find our application in the list, dimecast.net OOB, and I'm going to go ahead and double click on that, and it's no longer a part of our programs. And you'll see the icon is now gone. So to add the ability to install our application programmatically, what we're going to want to do is go back into our main application, and for this sample we're just going to go ahead and create a new hyperlink in our title bar, and we'll call this Install OOB. We don't want to navigate, we actually want to click, so we want to have a click event. We'll change the content to Install OOB. We're going to navigate to the code behind for this. Now the very simple way to do this is simply to do this right here. Just do application.current.install. That is all the logic I need at the bare minimum to determine or to allow me to install my application as an out-of-browser application. But the problem with just having this one line of code is it doesn't take into account whether you've already installed it as an out-of-browser application, if you're already running it, or or if you're already running it as an out-of-browser application. So to do this, we do want to add a couple more lines of code. So we want to add a try block here. I'm going to add a catch, and I'm going to have a catch of invalid operation exception. The reason for this invalid operation exception catch block is because if you've already installed the application as an out-of-browser app, you'll get an exception of this type. So let's go ahead and do debug .write line. So let's go ahead and put a breakpoint here. Let's run our application and let's install it from our click event this time. So now that our application is loaded, I can now go ahead and click the install OOB and I can hit my breakpoint. And if I step over this, you'll see it works just fine. And I get my dialog. I can now choose install it to desktop, and I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And you'll see my application starts up just fine. Now if I close that, click the install OOB again, you'll see I get an exception. The exception I get is the fact that its application is already installed. And that's actually a good thing. I don't want to try to install it multiple times because, well, that's not going to work out. There's a couple extra things we can do when having our application install out of browser. And the first is to check to see if it's already running out of browser. So I can sit here and do application.current.is running out of browser. And I can do something like this and say, hey, and I can provide the ability to have a dialog box that says, hey, by the way, I'm already running out of browser. You could also do another check. I could sit there and say, let's check my install state. Let's check see if I'm already installed. Because I might not be running my application currently in the out-of-browser format. I might actually be running it through the browser. But if I'm already installed, let's go ahead and, if I'm not already installed, let's go ahead and install me. So if I rerun our application this time as a in-browser experience, let's see if we can get this to hit and hit true. So if I go ahead and click my install OOB icon, I hit my breakpoint, and I can see that I'm not running out of browser, which is good. And if I step over that, you can see that my install state is installed, which means that I'm not going to hit the line that asks me to install my application. That's pretty cool. That's pretty easy code. That's pretty easy checks. Now the one last thing we want to take a look at here is if you'd like to start off by running your application as out of browser instead of going through the browser, what you can do is actually right click and choose set as startup project on your Silverlight application. And if we rerun it now, so if I hit F5 this time, you'll see that I immediately start up the application as a native application running out of the browser. And if I click install OOB, I hit my breakpoint again, and this time it does tell me I am running as out of browser, and I get my dialog that says, hey, I'm running out of browser. So there you have it. You can see that it's pretty straightforward and pretty easy to provide a couple of different ways to run your Silverlight application as an out of browser experience. So I hope you learned something. Until next time.